Go live. Okay. All right. All right. I believe we are live. All right. So, hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Skye. We're here for the video premiere of our song Suffering for You. And with us today, we have the incredible Dr. Anita Shack. Dr. Anita Shack is an exceptional practitioner, teacher, speaker, and workshop leader. For 35 plus years, she has successfully applied an integrated approach in her work and built a reputation as a compassionate and knowledgeable healer. Her areas of expertise include chiropractic, craniosacral therapy, acupuncture, energy healing, and wellness counseling. Hi, Dr. Anita. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Awesome. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Excellent. How are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, actually, I've been feeling, it's like very magnified highs and lows. And today is just like, I don't know, it felt like a bit of like a hopefulness that I loved. So I'm feeling pretty happy.
It was kind of a gentle start to the week with this whole Blue Monday thing, but it wasn't an intense, impacting, impending doom kind of feeling. I think we've had enough of those in the past weeks. So I feel like today was a kind of an introspective, gentle day, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. I also feel like it's like usually more of that sharper cold around now. Like I think it was like my mom, when I was growing up, there was always like the worst day of the year was right around now when things kind of got just felt like there was no escaping the winter and everything. It's just like, I guess that was the reason why Blue Monday became a thing.
Yeah, it's true. We're kind of, one of the good things is that we're having a little bit of a mild weather that's tempering the other things that are so intense. So there's always that balance. Nature is looking out for us at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
It does feel lighter, I think. Ever since the solstice, I've just felt things are lightening up. Like not only in the light, but just in the sense of things. So.
Energetically. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I've been feeling that. So the reason that we had you on today is because of the running theme through the video is definitely mental health oriented. There's battling with inner demons, and that through line, I feel like right now, because just the state of everything is overwhelming for everybody. Mm-hmm. And I think now, even though there is a light at the end of the tunnel with the pandemic, with winter, with kind of everything, there's still a long way to go, and it's a weird time just to be on your own, for everybody to miss seeing people. It's a time where I feel like putting mental health resources and tools and tips are it's the best time for it. So thank you for coming on.
Oh, you're very welcome. Yeah, it's definitely been extremely challenging as we've had the lockdown and the shutting in and the isolation. We're kind of forced to look at ourselves in a deep way, or all of our triggers are intensified. We really get a chance to look at what's really going on inside of ourselves, and to be alone and in the spinning mind and all of those things. And I think on the positive side of that experience is it's highlighting that, so we can look at it and really get a handle on it, really analyze it, clear it, make changes, things that we might have just been too busy or in our patterns of coping or not coping. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it is a time where there is this opportunity given by these odd times to really clear out and change and reconnect with ourselves, so that we, when things change, when things brighten up, when we open our doors and we're allowed to live, do we want to go back to old patterns and to normal, or how do we want to go forward? So as hard as it is to take those looks inside our own darkness, I think it's been a very valuable time, as painful as it can be, and certainly has had some dire consequences and responses from people. But I think, it's important to keep some hope and some perspective that it's for a reason. What's being asked of us at this time.
Absolutely. And also to like I know I've found just like getting to know yourself, or like finding your self-worth that isn't based on productivity, is so difficult to do, but is forced upon us right now. So like that's excellent. There's also like, I don't know, there's something about, like knowing yourself within the context of people being around, like as an artist, of like performing and like connecting around music and music spaces with people, but also like non-musicians. There is definitely an element of like knowing yourself within the context of other people, and to really know yourself when you're alone with yourself is another thing altogether. We don't really get opportunities like this very often.
Yeah, definitely. So. It's some, like you say, how do we identify ourselves? Is it only from the mirrors that we're getting and the validation from others and what people say? But when that's not there, when someone's not listening to the music or applauding or even smiling at you in person, what's remaining? What is your core essence? And how do you identify, especially artists, or what you do and who you are one and the same, so intrinsically inseparable. So it's a really interesting challenge that you're speaking about. Who are we if we're not that, if we're not busy, if we're not producing? So I think another gift of the time, again, as hard as it is will it bring out some stronger sense of self? Will it bring some resilience? Will it bring more creativity outside of what has always worked? And I think it's a stronger sense of self and that appreciation of connection that we may have taken for granted.
Yeah.
And so you're alone with your really looking at who you are outside of any role.
Yeah.
So, when things stop, what's really left, what's really there. And I think the slowing down has again been a gift for that reason.
Yeah, definitely. Like something that I've noticed for myself is just like I'm able to like face like the anxiety that I go through, like just trying to develop tools and just little things that I can do to like stop spinning if it's happening, things like that. It's been a good time where there's just the time and space to do it, because you don't really get that. Yeah, but I mean, I guess like it's a very anxious time, so it's also that like balance.
It's letting us focus as a collective on that anxiety.
Yeah.
And some of it's generated from our own lives, and I think artists as people are already stressed. It's stressful to be a creative person. It's financially stressful. You're very vulnerable as you're always putting yourself out there. So that's already stressful, and then these times are exacerbating all of that. So what sets us over that edge when we've reached a threshold that we normally can cope with, but then we're over this edge of anxiety, even just picking up, watching the news, and it just takes us over our threshold, and it can become very difficult to reconnect, to ground, to breathe. We get anxious. So I think one of the other things about this time is really being able to, like you say, now we have the time to notice I'm getting anxious, where before you might have just been running on adrenaline and calling it a good thing.
Like, I don't have time to deal with this.
I'm actually anxious. I'm actually spending energy I don't have. I'm actually going from 0 to 1,000,000 in my reaction right now. So, whoa, this is not constructive behavior.
Yeah. Totally.
Well, it's just negative thought patterns and our inner voices, which I think in your video really comes across the inner turmoils and the things that we're dealing with. And which voice in our head do we listen to? So
Yeah.
there's lots of tools for that.
Yeah, big time. There's like a coming home to yourself, like your true self.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's difficult though.
It's difficult.
Yeah,
It's difficult, but most rewarding, as
absolutely.
well.
Yeah.
And I think that, people, it's been hard to accept, but I think, there's this saying, the only way out is through.
Yeah.
It's making us, you don't want to look at this stuff, but we kind of have to, and
Yeah.
we have to accept that it's actually a journey. We're all on this journey.
Hmm. Yeah.
And even if we feel separate, we're connected in experiencing this isolation at the same time.
Yeah.
Even that is connecting us. And there's something bigger than just our.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
how cope with that, which creates, not sleeping and not, we have to come back into ourselves to
Yeah.
find that peaceful, grounded, connected state. It's our
Hmm.
only kind of compass to navigate it with.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, do you have like ever like do you recommend like some tips or like maybe some like a tool that you use or that you share with others in order to do that? Because I guess like especially when you're in it, when there's like this flurry of everything, it's very hard to like at the moment like take yourself out of it. But if you have tools already, it's like it's a bit easier
Right.
on the
No, it's a
brain.
very good point you have, and one of the things that's come out of this period for me is creating some programs, and I've
Hmm.
realized through doing it that yes, we can learn things in the moment to do, but if we actually cultivate a practice where it's like music. The more you practice, when you come to perform, it's there. You
Yeah.
don't need you'll worry anyway, but you can count on something. You can
Yeah.
have the confidence that something's going to come. You can improvise in the moment. So it's the same thing. The more we practice simple things
Hmm.
like breathing, like meditation, like focusing in, finding our center so we can respond so that we're not triggered and reactive all the way. Those are things
Yes.
that take practice. So I do have something that I could share.
Yeah.
It could be extracted in parts. Anybody can practice any one part of it.
Hmm.
But rather than share it with you as this is a tool, that's a tool, I thought I would connect it into a kind of meditative breathing experience. Is that okay with you?
Yes. Yeah. Wonderful. That would be great.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to ask you and anybody that's watching right now to just allow yourself to sit comfortably wherever you are and feel yourself sitting. So notice the weight of your pelvis and give it to your chair and to the floor or wherever it is that you're sitting. And just allow that feeling of being supported without having to brace or hold yourself up. Allow yourself to melt, soften your jaw and your shoulders, your eyes and your neck. And close your eyes, bringing yourself into yourself. And allow yourself to feel present in this moment, letting go of the events of the day or of the past week or month or year or years. Just being here and now. And with your right hand, grasp along your left arm and have your left hand on the outside of your right ribs in a kind of a hug. And just feel that. Feel yourself soothing yourself, grounding yourself, connecting with yourself. Feel what that feels like. How it might be changing your feeling, your thought, or your breath. Now let your hands drop down and focus on your breath. Just notice your natural breathing, the sound of it, the rhythm of it, the flow of it, Notice what parts of you move as you breathe and what parts don't. Without judgment, just allow yourself to breathe. And now, with your hands on your belly, you can begin to control your breath. Breathing through your nose, feel your belly expand and fill like a balloon as you breathe in, and feel it soften and deflate as you breathe out. Follow that breath without pushing, just directing, calming your mind, calming your body with each deep, controlled breath. Continue to breathe in this way. And if your mind wanders or a thought comes in, just notice the thought, but don't get drawn into it. Notice that it's there, acknowledge it, but bring your focus back to your breath. Feeling the sound, focusing on your breath and the energy moving in your body. And now bring your left hand up to your chest, to your heart, and do a few circular movements, just soothing, balancing your heart, balancing your emotion. That is the intention of this movement. And then let your hand rest, feeling one hand on your belly, grounding you and stabilizing you, steadying you, and one hand on your heart, balancing the flow of emotion. And breathe deep in your belly. Lift your breath up to your heart. And exhale, let your heart sink and your belly sink. Keeping your mind focused on your breath, breathe into your belly. Breathe it up to your heart. Let your heart soften as you exhale and your belly soften. Grounding your emotions, calming your system. Breathe in through your belly, up through your heart. Soften your heart as you exhale and let your belly deflate. Do a few more breaths silently in your own rhythm. And now lift your hand with your index finger and the next finger. Gently touch your third eye, or the point in between your eyebrows, in the middle of your forehead, just above your nose, just gently touching there. Feeling any vibration. And now breathe deep in your belly. Lift your breath, watch it flow up through your heart right to this point. Let your breath flow out, softening mind, heart, body. And continue to breathe, focusing on the point in your head with the intention of clearing your mind, clearing it of all negativity, all harsh words, all doubt, all confusion, all limiting beliefs. Breathe in from your belly to your heart to your head. And as you breathe out, feel everything soften, feel yourself clear, your mind calm. Let your hand drop down to your belly again. Take a few soft breaths in your own way. Softening your face and your jaw, your shoulders, any place where holding may have crept in. Softening it with your breath. Gently guiding your mind back to your breath. This time, take a deep belly inhale and exhale for a little bit longer than you inhaled. Breathing in again and out. Let your hands come to your lap with your palms facing up, and just take this moment to feel what you feel. Feel the movement of energy in your body. Perhaps you feel a light tingling in your palms. Energized and relaxed, your mind clear, your heart soothed, your body grounded. And slowly feeling that feeling, coding that feeling, knowing that's possible for you to attain whenever you want to. Slowly open your eyes and come back to our conversation.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Oh,
how do you feel?
I feel great. I feel amazing, actually. There's something about that, like, I don't know, I never really got into meditation until fairly recently. I was always like, oh, I can't do it or whatever, but there's just something so powerful about it, like, that anyone can access. And like,
yes.
Yeah, we're getting actually a lot of comments from folks saying that was amazing. So thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
And like you were saying at the beginning, it takes us deeply into ourselves. And usually in our day-to-day, and I think pre-COVID, there was a lot of blockage from going in there. Now that we're kind of forced to, and we let go of some fear and we look inside, it's a vast space of possibility. Yes. And it's where our essence, our creativity lives. So being able to go there and to find it, it's a practice, but to find the pleasure in that, and the peace in that. And it's going in to connect outward. It's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. And your healing work that you do, it goes beyond healing the physical body and really integrates like the body, mind, and spirit. Like, what was your path that brought you to like the really incredible integration of all these things? Because I feel like that's so, like, I don't know, it's such a powerful means of healing. Like, it's necessary.
Yeah. That's such a good question. You know what? I was always a kind of sensitive, poetic child. My first love was writing, and then I decided that was not a practical pursuit, and so I became a dancer. So
amazing.
That was also not a practical pursuit. But my love for movement and energy So I was an independent modern dancer and choreographer, and then
Wow.
I became fascinated in the body and how it worked. And in my training, one time, I had a mind body experience. I was having trouble relaxing an area. I started to breathe into it, and I had an insight. I had an aha moment, and I connected to something that I didn't know was held in there. Um, and it's when you have an experience like that, it's an undeniable knowing that that was a real thing. I did not make it up. I didn't
Yeah.
expect it. I didn't imagine it. So that was my whole body mind intrinsic, you know, connection, knowing that it's so powerful, and
Mm-hmm.
knowing that, we're not just bodies, and we're not just minds,
Mm-hmm.
and we're spirits and bodies. We're people, and that part needs care and tending. And
Mm-hmm.
if I can help someone connect to themselves, and that's my greatest pleasure, and kind of my quest, my journey, my medicine, I would say. Yeah, I don't know if I answered
No,
it,
that's
but that.
perfect. That was amazing. Yeah. No, that's so interesting. I didn't know that you had like a dance background. That's like so yeah, that makes total sense. That there is that like especially with art and movement and everything, there is like that
Yes.
deep connection that has to happen. So
Yes, and
that
it's,
makes sense.
I have such a heart opening to artists, and a connection to the sensibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And people, I think one of the things, going back to some of the earlier conversation, people are want, what's this answer? It has to be so complicated. Honestly, move. If something's
Mm-hmm.
stuck, just move, just breathe.
Yeah.
We have so much resource within us. You
Mm-hmm.
don't need equipment. You don't need, sometimes it is annoying when you're in an anxiety attack and someone says, just breathe, but it honestly works. And it's
Yeah.
not just an emotional thing. It's a neurophysiological mechanism
Wow.
that you need to activate or regulate with your breath. So, yeah, I love the simplicity, but the
Mm-hmm.
profound nature of it. So when I treat someone that maybe came in because they're playing their guitar and their back is sore,
Yeah.
yes, that's great. And other people and other things come up where um, we all, when there's a pain or a stress that's emotional, physical, or emotional, will always brace and compress. So if I can
Mm-hmm.
help unlock that to get some flow, it's each, no matter how you enter it, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to affect all of them. So it's all interconnected.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having this conversation with us.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
Yeah.
My
Um,
pleasure. And I think you really, your video and your music really touches deep, and talks about the connection to one's deeper self and to nature, and wholeness and healing. So I wish you the best too.
Thank you. Thank you so much. To anyone watching right now, to connect with Dr. Anita Shack, you can follow her on all of the social media at Dr. Anita Shack. There is also, she has her own clinic called Health Focus Healing, and also works through the Al and Malka Green Artists Health Center at the Toronto Western Hospital. And I believe you also have a course coming up through Art House on February 10th, right?
I do. And we'll
Awesome.
be going into these concepts, many more concepts, and many, many more tools. And it's free to artists, sponsored by Art House. So
Wonderful.
check that out on Instagram. Thank you
Wonderful.
so much for having me, Skye.
Thank you for being here. It means a lot.
It's been wonderful to connect, and with you
Absolutely.
all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And everybody who's watching, thank you for being here. The video is going to go live exactly at 7:30, so any second now. So the link is just going to be in the chat. Follow that, and it's going to be live. So check it out. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the new video. Lots of love. 1 second, Nita. Sorry.
Should I leave?
Yeah, I did it.